Big Daddy here with a quick video on Linux Mint Cinnamon Edition. So we just got done talking, me and Rob, about Cinnamon, and I figured I'd do a quick video on it and then do some customizing. So I'm in the middle of my KDE series, and I guess I'm going to start another series. Oh my gosh. But I will get back to the KDE stuff. So this is Linux Mint 18. It's built off of Ubuntu 16.04, and it is a pretty solid operating system overall. Any Linux Mint distribution is going to be solid as long as you don't, start adding in things to it. So I used to run Cinnamon a long time ago, few months, something like that, and it worked out great for me, except when I started to add applets and whatnot to Cinnamon, which the applets are not kept up as much as they should be. So they end up breaking Cinnamon or making it crash, and I ended up switching to KDE because I love KDE. But I did like Cinnamon while I was on it. It has a lot of nice features to it, and like I said, the guys over at Linux Mint always do a great job of customizing it, allowing you to personalize it. So for example, well, let's just start out with the welcome screen, because everybody's seen the welcome screen. If I could only type. But for example, one thing you should do is definitely install your drivers. And if you click this will open up the driver manager, and it will search for the best drivers for your system. Okay, and to see if you need to install any different ones. So now this one is I'm going to click the NVIDIA drivers because that's the one that is good for my card, and I'm also going to do the wireless drivers. I'm also going to do this one here, which is the Intel microcode, and we're going to hit apply changes. Now that's going to take a while, so I ain't worried about doing that or looking at that. But there was another icon here when I first started. The reason I bring up the welcome screen is because not just the drivers, but Linux Mint took out the install the multimedia codecs option from the install now. So, but they do in here put a shortcut to the multimedia codecs. Like, it's a shortcut that says install multimedia codecs, and that's a one-click access to install all the things you need. Now, there also in the sound and video section was a shortcut for install multimedia codecs. Along with that, when I did the sound test for the first video of this, I tried to play the final one in the VLC player, and obviously there were no codecs installed, but popped up a message and asked me if I wanted to install the necessary codecs. So I did that, and that was a great thing, that it actually asked you and just decided that it wasn't going to play and let you fend for yourself. It actually downloaded the codecs that it needed and installed them right away. But these are the total package. Not these, but the shortcut that would be here normally. It's not here because I already did it, so the shortcut goes away then, I guess. So that's definitely something that you want to do. So while that's applying the changes, let's look around here. Now, Mint is working on the X apps so like for example, the graphics image viewer is part of the X app series of applications, and it is a cross distro app section basically. So these apps, I think it's the photo viewer, videos, PDF viewer, and the notepad, or the text editor I should say, will be between KDE, Mate, XFCE, and all the other ones. They'll look the same and they'll act the same. So that's a good thing. So they're working on those. The customization part comes in when you notice little things like the open as root option, which is sorely missed in most file managers. And even Dolphin doesn't have it by default. So, but it is in the Linux Mint versions of operating systems. The only thing that should be here, that I think should be here, or at least the option to turn it on, is the create link, which I didn't find in the settings for. You find it usually in the deep buried in the settings of like GNOME file manager. I think it's Nautilus. I forget what that is, but anyway, you find it in there to add it to the menu. Well, I couldn't find it anywhere in here to add it, but that should be in there. But it also gives you the option to change colors of a specific folder. So say you wanted to have your music, I don't know, say red. You can change your music to red. You can change any folder, you can change the color. Now this is dependent on you using the Linux Mint X icons. So the Mint X icons they have multiple colors you can choose from, but as long as you stay on one of the Mint X icons, they will stay that color. If you choose one of your own icon sets, you lose that option. All right. So this is not an exhaustive look at Linux Mint, but let's look at the system monitor to see how it's doing. This is not a light operating system, so you need to have a certain amount. Like I'm sitting at 1.3 gigabytes of RAM. Now I am recording a video, and I did install drivers and whatnot, so that may be part of that. But this is not a lightweight distro. This is a middle of the road or closer to heavier distro. But as long as you have it, like I have 8 gigabytes of RAM, so as long as you have it, it's not like it's taxing the system or anything like that. The other thing is, right now it's running in rendering mode, software rendering mode, so it may be part of the reason why that's up. But overall, it's a very customizable distro. This panel has way tons of options to set the size, the icons, the menu. Okay, that's where I go down on Cinnamon. Like, the menu is not the menu that I would choose. Okay, it's just not. I've never acquired a taste for this menu. It has everything you need. It has the leave and lock options. It has your favorites. It has everything by category, and it has a search function. But it doesn't have much in the customization part of it. So you can basically change the icon and you can change the text, and not much else. So this is not the menu that I'm going to be sticking with. But I will be making a video about the CinXP menu, about installing it and customizing it, which makes Cinnamon much better. All right. The other thing about the applets that you install, which is what all these things are here, you just have to be careful when you add applets that they actually work. All right. So when you go to available applets, it's going to refresh the cache the first time. Okay, just to pick up any updates. All right, so when it's done, you can search for anything. So let's search for menu. Okay, so there are multiple menus here that you can choose from. Unfortunately, 99% of these menus do not work with the latest version of Cinnamon. So it's kind of like a hit or miss. It's not, and this is part of the reason why I was having issues before I switched to KDEs, because the Cinnamon was crashing constantly, and part of it was due to these menus. Now some of these menus haven't been worked on in a couple years, so just be careful. You look at when this is updated, whatever you're choosing, because sometimes it makes it hard. Like I know, for example, the Stark menu would crash Cinnamon before. I won't install it now because it would crash Cinnamon to the point where I had to restart the computer because I could not get it off. It would not allow you to see the panel anymore, and there was no way to remove it, and you couldn't remove it from here. It was a mess. So the applets are a good thing or they're a great thing, but they can be a really bad thing depending on how they're used. So just be careful with them, because there are good ones. There are really good ones, and one of the ones that I will use is the drawer, which allows for you to show hide applets in the system tray. So that's one I'll be showing you as well. So this is just a quick look at what Linux Mint 18 offers you. This is out of the box except for me installing updates and me installing the simple screen recorder to shoot the video. So look forward to the next video on Cinnamon, which will be installing the best menu ever. At least on Cinnamon. Alright, until then, Big Daddy out.